Do you want the truth? Do you want the honest truth about Colorado Springs? We're going to dive into that today. We're going to be talking about the top 5 pros and
cons.
Top 5 cons.
Con.
Of Colorado Springs.
It's actually kind of hard to do. But you know what? Then as we dug and focused on the negative, it was actually really easy. This city sucks.
It doesn't suck.
No, it doesn't.
Don't listen to Kyle.
Okay.
Listen, overall, we absolutely love this city, but it does have its drawbacks. So.
It does. And the first drawback that we came up with was it's not actually as close to the ski resorts as you might have thought.
No.
That sounds like a really weak con.
First world problems.
Yeah, seriously. But like in Salt Lake and Provo, for example, over in Utah, you can get to the ski resorts like in a fast, quick ricky tick. And here it's like 2.5 hours, at least from like my house. It's like 2.5 hours. If you're lucky and 70 is not your only route, then it could take longer if you get stuck in traffic. You could be on the road for 4 hours just trying to get to Breckenridge.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an early day if you want to get to the ski resorts and have a full day.
Not as close as I thought it was going to be.
No. Pro number 1, along that same thought line of mountains and skiing, it's gorgeous here. It is absolutely gorgeous. I've lived here for 18 years. I know that you guys know that, but I wake up, I look at the mountains every day, I see some new feature that I haven't seen every single morning. It never gets old.
And so because of that, it's pricey.
It is pricey.
Now, it's not California pricey, which is why they move here, but it is pretty expensive. In fact, according to Forbes, it is 5 to 10% more expensive than the national average, which is actually a little bit lower than what I anticipated. But a couple things that add to the priciness is not just homes, but also like gas. Gas is so expensive. My diesel is like almost $1 more expensive here than like in New Mexico.
Yep.
So that, food, Colorado Springs is like so central and it's like not super close to any coast. So cost of living is kind of a bummer.
It is kind of a bummer. And we did in this last year just get all of our notices of value that are saying our property taxes are going up, and quite significantly because
You're supposed to be on the pro side.
housing costs have gone up. I'm just saying.
Is that a pro? Are you pro taxes?
No.
He's pro taxes. You've heard it here. Sam Loving is pro taxing high taxes. Tea in the water.
Not at all. I'm just saying it is a con that cost of living is a little bit higher than the national average, and it's probably going up. Let's get back to the pros though. Pro number 2, I feel like Colorado Springs is literally the perfect size.
Go on.
What?
The perfect size.
It is, man.
What dare you mean, good sir?
Here's what I mean. Colorado Springs is not too big, not too small.
Old Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
It really is, man. It's perfect oatmeal.
I think it was porridge, but why do you think it's the perfect size?
So listen, here we are now at about 700,000 people in the metro area, a little bit over 400,000 in the city of Colorado Springs, but it's not 3 million people in the metro area of Denver with 41-minute commutes. Just people everywhere that you look in every single direction. There's still space here.
Yeah.
You can still get places conveniently. You still have all the shopping, dining, entertainment that you need in a city like this without all the crazy hustle and bustle, crazy long commute times, super inconvenient traffic and things like that.
Here's why I laughed, actually. Because my number 3 con is the city is growing a little bit too big for its britches. It really is. Now, it's not 3 million or 3.5 million people yet, but it is growing like pretty dang fast and pretty consistently. I would say actually it's increased just a little bit because of the pandemic stuff, whatever. It kind of outpacing itself. And because of that, so we're just having growing pains. And the growing pains are like, there's a lot of construction, there's a lot of development going on. The roads are always under construction. Break. One of the worst things about Colorado, by the way, is around this time, it's like roads become hazardous. The amount of potholes, I've lived in the Mountain West for a long time, but the amount of potholes that just like randomly appear one day after it has rained and maybe frozen. I was driving home the other day on Platte, the worst street in America. There was it was like a whole section of the road like washed out. What's wrong with your city, bro? But anyway, I think it's just growing a little bit too big for its britches.
That's fair. It's understandable. Well, you know what? I think that there's actually a lot to do here. Pro number 3, there's actually a lot to do here. People have always said for a long time Colorado Springs is the lamest city that has ever existed. You haven't seen the bumper stickers around town everywhere that says keep Colorado Springs lame?
No.
They're everywhere, man. They sell them at Leech Pit. They sell them at Leech Pit. Stickers that say keep Colorado Springs lame. For a long time, that was the stigma around Colorado Springs. Honestly, there is a lot to do here. Again, I mentioned all the shopping, dining, entertainment. The food scene is actually growing here.
Yeah.
It's not Denver. It's not Albuquerque, it's not LA, it's not New York, things like that. But the food scene is actually growing quite a bit here. The entertainment scene is growing quite a bit here. We're adding a new 8,000 seat amphitheater up north. It's supposed to be like Red Rocks Jr., bring in some pretty big acts. We added the Colorado Switchbacks. Widener Field along with the Switchbacks brings in some pretty good entertainment options. We've seen some bigger acts coming into town. We saw Dave Chappelle come in last year. All sorts of stuff is going on in this city all the time now. And it's not just that. There's ample outdoor activities everywhere you look in this city, and they're way more accessible.
Well, controversy. Please don't hang me for saying this. But here is a con of Colorado Springs that is going to make me a very unpopular man in about 3 seconds. Homelessness is indefinitely, unfortunately, on the rise, especially in the downtown area, along the river, which like has a nice walk along it, under the bridge as you cross over into Ivywild. That little stretch, that's a scary stretch to drive when you stop and you're right by the bridge. It's really, really unfortunate that the amount of homelessness in the city is on the rise. I've personally never had any bad experiences. I don't know what the solution is to that, and that's not what we're here to discuss anyway, but that is one thing that people note a lot.
Yeah.
You know, in our YouTube comments, people say it a lot. Well, have you been to California? Have you been to LA and San Diego and San Francisco? It's not nearly like that. It's not even like Denver.
No.
It's not even close to what it's like in Denver, but
Back to the pros though, I want to talk about how awesome the weather is here.
it's really unlike me to be this negative. Just so you guys know.
You are being a negative Nancy today,
am.
but
Yeah,
you
it's
asked to
not
be
who I
the
am.
you asked to be the con guy.
That's fair.
So you're the con guy today,
Okay.
and I'm the pro guy. And
Just want
pro
people
number
to know
4,
that I'm nice.
pro number 4 is that the weather is actually great here. We get asked by clients all the time moving here, what's the weather really like? I think a lot of people think Colorado Springs, they think Colorado, they think Rocky Mountains, so they think crazy snow all the time, crazy cold. It's really not like that here. We didn't really see the majority of our snowfall until after the new year, and really getting into like late January, early February, I would say is when we saw like serious snowfall really start to take place and a lot of cold. Really up until December, it was pretty darn mild. And then we kind of had 3 months of legitimate winter, but we get more sunny days in this state than any other state in America. Don't at me in the comments. Don't at me in the comments.
Just looking
It's
outside.
absolutely
Just
true.
looking outside,
Listen, I
it's
know
too
it's a
cloudy.
rainy day, but there's sun
What are
out
we
there
in-
right now.
What are we in Washington?
There's sun out there right now, dude. We've been getting a ton of rain.
We have been
lately.
getting a ton of rain lately, and it has been actually pretty glorious. It's a freakish amount of rain.
Yeah, we need it though.
Okay, my last and final con, it's a legitimate con. It doesn't apply to everybody, but we technically, I think, have an international airport. However, it is generally an airport that you're going to connect to a major airport,
Yeah.
like Dallas,
Denver.
Denver. I think there's like one more that it consistently does, but that you feel like you're always going to like Dallas, Denver,
Phoenix, maybe.
and then like on to your final destination. There's a couple small like boutique airlines out of there. Now, I like the airport a lot better than Denver's airport. I hate Denver's airport.
Really?
Oh my gosh, I hate Denver's
I
airport
don't mind
so
it that much.
Ugh, it's the worst. Colorado Springs, it's small. You can get stuck in some lines. We're actually seeing an increase in tourism here right now. Actually,
yeah.
we're back to we're actually above pre-pandemic levels, which is pretty dope.
That's crazy because back then we were getting like 28 million visitors a year.
But the airport, I think that would be a con, is it is either more expensive or, in a sense, more of a hassle to fly in and out of Colorado Springs.
Pro number 5, my
Finish it up.
last and final pro. This city is not afraid of change. It is going through a lot of changes right now. We've seen huge population growth in the last 5 to 10 years. We're seeing huge change in the food scene, the culture, the diversity, the amount of stuff that we have here, the amount of construction that's going on. We're seeing lots and lots of change all taking place at a very rapid pace. But the city's kind of taking that head on and embrace that. I feel like Colorado Springs is really coming into its own as more of a major city as time marches on. What do you think?
I love Colorado Springs, but you know, nothing's perfect. And like we said at the beginning, we wanted to make sure that we told you the truth, because that's what we do.
Yeah.
But ultimately, this is the ultimate place, in my humble opinion, to live, eat, work, play, sleep when you're awake.
Yeah.
And if you have any interest in coming out here and moving out here, or just coming to visit, we have a relocation guide. We'd love to send that to you. You can definitely just reach out to us, you know, no pressure. But it's got the best recommendations and all the things that you would list as pros,
Yes.
and some little tips and tricks in there as well. We're also realtors. So if you are gonna move out here, we'd love to help you out. We've got neighborhood tours, market updates that we do regularly. We know the area in and out, and we would love to work with you. Bye.
Peace.